full spectrum, by definition, is the full plant extract, which would include whatever was in the plant, including all of the THC. In a hemp plant, that THC needs to be, by law, less than 0.3%. So the broad spectrum is the same thing, only the THC has been substantially reduced. It's nearly impossible from a chemical standpoint to remove the THC completely, but we reduce it to just a whisper. And then isolate is like 99.7% pure. It's just one single isolated molecule. And there's a lot of information about this that is a little bit detailed, but basically, we believe that when you use the whole plant, whether it has a THC or not, that all of the cannabinoids and the terpenes, the minor cannabinoids, CBD and the CBD and all the minor cannabinoids work together synergistically in what's called the entourage effect to produce a substantial benefit. We find in studies where we compare the whole plant extract or the whole plant extract to the isolate, that you need higher doses of the isolate to get the same results because you get such good synergy with all the ingredients that are in the full spectrum. Interestingly enough, up until recently have been very few studies of the broad spectrum because the full spectrum has been the standard. But many companies felt it was good, especially with dogs, to start out with a broad spectrum because of the potential toxicity of the THC to dogs. Also, from a regulatory standpoint, the FDA does not like THC at all. They're fine with CBD, they're just trying to figure out how to make it work. So if you have a product that doesn't have much of any THC in it, the thinking was that it might be less likely to be recalled by the FDA for having THC in it or something like that. So that's the whole deal between broad spectrum, full spectrum. So if you're choosing a product, I think that the choice really should be between full spectrum and broad spectrum. And I believe with dogs especially, broad spectrum is better to begin with. And if you're trying to you think you're going to need more THC to get more results from your broad spectrum, you're going to need more THC than's found in the full spectrum. You're going to have to go to a dispensary product to get more THC to have more of a substantial anti-pain effect. So that's why I think broad spectrum was what I promoted when I was asked to develop the products for Okoa, and that's what I've been using with all of the other products I've developed as well. And it works just as well as full spectrum.